All right, so this message is for anyone that's in business, sales. You could be a coach or a teacher. It could be someone that's in politics looking to raise funds. You could be a doctor, lawyer, anyone that's in a position where having people in agreement would be in their best interest. So we've got a new decade coming, 2020, right around the corner, and I've got a very special invitation to you to be able to start off the new decade in the most powerful position that you can be. And here's why. So in life, it doesn't really matter what level that you're at. Everyone has struggles. Okay, if you're at the lower bottom of the workforce, to the CEO of a company, to the ruler of a nation, everyone has their own struggles each and every day that they're dealing with. Okay, and we know life can be challenging. We know life can be hard, and sometimes life can be even a little evil. But if you step back and really think about that, is there really challenges and evil in the world? It's not like I'm walking down the street and a tree is chasing me, or Satan is hiding behind a bush waiting for me to walk by and jumps out and says, I got you. I mean, that's not what's really happening, okay? What's really happening is interaction with other people. It's the other people that can make life challenging. So think about it this way. Whenever you get into a confrontation with someone, how do you feel? Don't you feel a little drained? Or when you have to make a decision on something, it starts to kind of wear you down a little bit, right? Your energy starts to deplete, and the more tired you get, the less likely or more challenging it becomes to actually make a decision, right? So think about, say, in sales, right? Prospect comes into, or customer comes into the store, they're looking to buy, right? When I purchased this camera, I knew I wanted the camera, I know how much it cost, and I purchased it, right? I had this vision, this dream that I wanted to come true, right? And why do we actually buy things, right? Because we feel they're gonna solve a problem for us. It releases dopamine, right? Every time we have a win in our life, it releases dopamine. How many times do people walk in a store, make a phone call, answer an ad, get on the phone with you or someone else, and they don't end up buying? Or they purchase, and then the next day they back out. And the reason that happens is because you're really good at sales. However, a man convinced against their will is of the same opinion still. So really, what did you really do? You manipulated or really forced someone into a purchase they weren't really comfortable. Even though they wanted to buy that product, they had this uneasy feeling inside of them, and that's called resistance. And we create that every time we're face to face with a person, because everyone has their guard up. That's why people love buying from people they know. They love buying from referrals. It could be Dr. Kevorkian, and hey, you got a doctor? Yeah, go to this person. Or, the opposite side of that is it's a stranger and they're Googling the heck out of that person. They want to know everything about them because they just don't want to lose. People don't want to fail because it releases cortisol and it makes them feel, less empowered in their life, and they want to feel empowered. And what makes people feel empowered is dopamine. So when someone's going to make a purchase from you, they're looking for that dopamine boost. And it's your job as a professional to actually provide that to them, not provide them with cortisol and give them kind of this feeling of weakness where they can't really make a decision because they're confused, they're afraid, and all of that other stuff, right? Think of how you feel when you're with your friends, right? When you're in agreement, it feels right, it feels good, you feel excited, you feel empowered. And then when you have resistance, it could be from a coworker, it could be from a spouse, family member, a client, prospect, whatever, your energy starts to deplete. So as a professional, a lot of times, I hear a lot of people say, well, I'm not passionate about this. And think about how unprofessional that is. Because if you went to a doctor and they said, well, with a broken, or fractured arm, and they said, well, you know what, I'm really not passionate about that. However, if you ever need stitches, come and see me, I'm your guy, right? That would be unprofessional. So in business, regardless of how you feel, you should be able to still perform. If you're not able to perform at the highest level that you can, it's not because of anything other than you yourself are having that resistance. You are afraid of rejection. So what if you could eliminate that for you and for your prospect, for your client, for your employees, for your organization, your family, anyone that you interacted with? What if you could have a power in your life? I don't know if you've ever seen the movie Limitless. Well, it's on Netflix right now. You can watch it. And it's about a guy who took a pill, who was an average person, and all of a sudden became empowered and was like, accomplishing everything. And so that kind of power comes from the brain. The brain has these receptors, right? And when you get dopamine, more confident, when you're actually buying, when you feel really excited about something, it really doesn't matter if the money's coming from your electric bill payment that you got to make. People just spend the money. But when they feel kind of weakened, when they have confusion, doubt, They got cortisol releasing through their bloodstream. They feel nervous. They feel resistance. And it doesn't matter how much money they have. They're figuring out every single reason why they should avoid this because danger is coming up for them, like anxiety, right? So your job as a professional, whenever you're working with another human being, I don't care if it's your child and you want them to eat their broccoli or you want them to do their homework, okay? You have to make it their decision or there is going to be resistance. And with your children, that can certainly grow into resentment. So you want to avoid that. So instead of having to be one of those people that say, well, it depends on how I feel, oh, am I excited today, right? I don't know if I feel it today and all that other stuff, like that's not professional. When you have a skill, then how you feel is irrelevant. You could be filing your nails, doing something else, and it's just something that just happens for you automatically because you've got a skill to make that happen. So with that all being said, I'm going to introduce you to a good friend of mine, someone that I've known for 15 years, that no matter what, this guy has continually earned more and more money in whatever it is that he's ever doing, regardless if passion is there or not. He just uses the same skill set that he's developed over the last decade to earn more and more money. Now, at what level are we talking about here? Well, we're talking about someone that went from maybe $200,000-300,000 a year to $600,000, $800,000 to $1.2 million to $2.4 and so on, each and every year, even during the down economy. And it's because of the skill set, and now he's training people. So this is where the opportunity for you comes in. You will have the rare and unique opportunity to learn the technique that Jeremy uses to actually earn income in sales in whatever it is that he chooses to do at any given time. The technique that he uses is called NEPQ. I won't get into that until you actually get into the video and what that actually means. But what this technology allows people to do is have influence over people, just like the movie Limitless, to where every interaction that you have, you are in complete agreement. So here's the thing, if someone walks into the store, if they ring your phone, if they answer an ad, submit their information to a web form, and you or someone else is on the phone with them and they do not buy, you blew the sale, because the sale was decided the moment they walked into the store and made the phone call. When I decided I wanted this camera, it was a done deal. The only thing that could have blew it was a salesman, because in the reality, I bought this camera online. I don't know how many times that I've walked into Best Buy to buy a camera over the last couple of years, 5 years, and never purchased a camera. I don't know how many I've walked into or other camera stores, and I just didn't purchase. I felt something that just made me feel uneasy. However, when I bought it online and didn't actually have to talk to someone, I could actually fulfill my dream. And I had my excitement, and it wasn't taken away from me by someone else that was creating that resistance within me due to them just wanting to help me out, right? It doesn't matter. They probably had good intentions. They want to help me to buy a camera, but yet that resistance comes up. And for years, I never purchased a camera until I actually did it on my own. So understand that whenever someone walks into a store, calls, answers an ad, whatever, that the sale's already been made. The only thing you can actually do is just bring them as a professional from there to here. And if that doesn't happen, then you actually got in the way, okay? So this skill that you're actually going to learn in this training class today, let me just give you some idea of the level, because we're talking someone that is a trainer that recently entered into becoming a trainer, that is one of only 3 in the world, only 3 trainers in the world that actually was earning over $1 million in sales themselves before they became a trainer. Think of that. 3 in the world since the beginning of time, since before cavemen. Okay, so here are some examples. I'm going to put these on the screen for you here, but I'm just going to read some of them. Johnny Custer, $750K he earned in commissions. Anna Zhang went from $2K to $36K using NEPQ. George Jacobs, $72K to $500,000. Now here's the thing, there's actually 500 sales reps nationwide, and he became #1 due to this technology. Johnny Custer, $750K this year using NEPQ. Michael Mitosh actually became one of the top Verizon stores in the nation when they weren't even on the map before NEPQ. Tom Keller, $62,000 in commissions. Toby Brand, success coach, sold a consulting package for $45,000. Joseph Rawberry, sales are up in his company 313%. Chuck Rosin, $87,000 in commissions. Not only that, but he actually worked with Google and increased their sales by 244%. The training, the class that you're about to attend is going to change your life. You're going to go into the next decade, 2020, running strong. You don't want to show up to the new year like the first day of work trying to get things going, trying to get momentum going. No, you want to go into it strong. If you're smart, you will. You want to use this technique to operate your life. I don't care if you're a teacher and you want your kids to get better grades, if you're a politician looking to raise more funding for your campaign, or any other person on the planet that isn't completely isolated, that has to interact with other human beings. You could be a spouse or a parent. It doesn't matter. You want complete agreement in your life so that the horses have 3 times the horsepower when you're working with someone versus 2 horses going in the wrong direction. Whenever you're working with someone when there's resistance, it doesn't really create that energy required. Think about this. Even in the Bible, it talks about when 2 are in agreement, then and only then are you blessed. It has to be in agreement. You want agreement. So every interaction that you have with another human being, you want to come to agreement. And the only way that you're actually going to be able to do that is by allowing them to make the decision themselves. You can't come at them with techniques used to kind of convince toddlers to do things. I mean, it's too transparent. The old techniques don't work anymore, or had they worked for a long time, and that's why you're struggling. Once you actually embrace this technique of influencing people, your life is going to be changed just like all of these people have. I've watched Jeremy over the last 15 years, and he's never had a down day. It doesn't matter. He can be filing his nails, making money, making sales, because he's using the technique. It doesn't matter about his personality or how good, because a lot of times we try to sell ourselves. If we have a good personality, if we feel cheery, we're going to do well because people like us. We are creating emotions by being nice. However, do you really want to rest on how you're going to feel tomorrow to determine how much money you're going to earn tomorrow versus using a skill that's going to allow you to win each and every time regardless of how you feel? Wouldn't that be better and more professional? So you're going to have an opportunity right now to attend Jeremy's class for free. There is a paid application fee that you will pay to attend this free class today. However, that application is really important. It's important to us to limit the amount of people and who actually gets access to this technique. Basically, we don't want people that are evil using it. And if that happens to be you, you will get your application fee refunded to you. And that's it. So go ahead and click the link, swipe up, go to the next step. You're going to verify your mobile, you're going to apply, and then you're going to go on to the training class today to work directly with Jeremy to perfect this skill through his interactive training portal that he built, that he just invested $218,000 to build. And the reason he did this is because he knows what it takes for this technique to be incorporated. It's kind of like going from right-hand writing to left-hand writing. Think about how long that would actually take. So in order for him to actually rewire your brain to operate your life and communicate with people in the way that he's training in this class, well, it's going to take repetition, it's going to take training, it's going to take testing. And there's no way that he can do that one-on-one with people. So we invested $218,000 so that the technology responsible for training you would actually be effective. So techniques of the NAPQ technology will be trained to you in the class today, as well as a PDF cheat sheet that will be provided to you at the end of the video. So congratulations, my gift from me to you. I'm in software. I believe it's easier to automate a person than to train them. However, this skill is something that can be applied to every aspect of your life. And if you're in direct sales, you have a business, you have employees, or anyone that you have to interact with, this is a skill that's going to allow your life to just become an easy flowing experience instead of challenges, obstacles, evil, and resistance on a daily basis. And you will be able to live a life of bliss, happiness, and joy. And that's what this training class is going to provide you today. So swipe up, click the link, attend the webinar today so that 2020, the next decade, can be the most prosperous, joyful, and exciting decade of your entire life. Congratulations, and I'll see you at the winner's table. Bye for now.